Malawian boy.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Good evening, people. Good evening, people. Welcome back to the True City Fan channel. This is one of the programs we do, talking points. We either do the press conference that Pep has, then we either do things that are breaking news in the Man City world. Right now, I know majority of the frauds from rival channels or rival fan bases are here today to see us cry and complain about this. But before we start, let's just let me do something. Let me thank the people, everybody, whoever you are, either you're from another team or you're from the city team, whoever you are. Thank you for your support, guys. Thank you for your support. Carl, I know you told me that I'm going to get to 2K very fast. I thought I'll get to 2K by June, but it looks like the features I've done recently and the videos we've done recently, we've managed to get to 2K this evening, right live on Doug's channel. I was on Doug's channel. Big up to you, Doug. We were on 1,992. Thank you to Doug. I was live and the count went live. It's on 2,010 subscribers this evening, Carl. So
Wow.
It's incredible.
The Cancelo video is on 5.5K. It's still going up. I think we got fans from Germany jumping on board.
Yeah,
It's been a
yeah.
crazy few days. So, guys, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you to you all. I appreciate it. This is thankful. Thank you on behalf of the True City fan team. That's Carl is part of the team. Adam is part of the team. Uh, Hamza is part of the team. Don't Smoke part of the team. Thank you to Martin Mankinian Way. Veta is part of the team. And all the guys, if I didn't mention your name, Michael is part of the team. Lots of people, CJ, Skywalker, Sean, a lot of people who have been on the True City channel. If I forgot your name, I apologize. But we are all here. We are all family. And we all made this possible. 2K, guys. 2K. Carl, we've reached the 2K.
That's amazing. Congratulations. Remember I told you when we met or shortly afterwards that you were going to get to 5,000. So you're still short of 5,000.
Yeah,
You know,
you told me that I'll get to 5,000 within a few months. But I appreciate everybody. I appreciate everyone who's helped us support. We couldn't get to the 2K without all of you guys. So I just wanted to thank you. And guys, it's you guys who make this channel. So the more you subscribe, the more you like our videos, we appreciate that. It keeps the channel going. It helps the channel. We don't really care about uh, s- um, super chats here. All we care about is fellow fans talking about football. Now, let's stop that because I know some people are like, that's not what I'm here for. So, Carl, Man City have been charged by the Premier League for alleged breaches of the financial rules. 100 of them, Carl. 100 stacks thrown on Man City. Uh, as they say, as they say always.
I am in pain. I am in severe pain.
So right now, it's not good, Carl. I know right now it's not looking good for us. Allegedly, the Premier League want to come after us. Surprise, surprise. We knew this day will come. Some of us did. Obviously, when I have conversations with you, we already knew that a day like this will come. Our board always knew the day like this will come. But let's go to the comments. FIFA, big up to you. We'll be fine. Congrats on the 2K. Doug, thank you very much. I know I reached the 2K on your channel, and I appreciate that, Doug. And we'll bring you on this channel because Carl likes your opinions, Doug. Big Morgan, how you doing? The OGs, thank you very much. The OGs, this will be good. Big up, congratulations, the 2K. Thank you very much, Daniel. Thank you for your support always. Get those likes up, guys. Get those likes up. There's a lot of you watching. I know there's a lot of you watching, even if you're a rival fan. Watch Sita Innocent. Let's get Patrick to 2.5K. Adam is already ambitious. We're on we're on 2K, buddy. How you doing, Ali, man? Think I haven't spoken to you for a while, but big up to you, man. Big up to the panel. Smash the like button, subscribe as well as share the channel to friends and family to subscribe. Yeah, PhD Carl. Carl, people are saying you're bringing smoke today. Hi, Patrick. Saw you on Football Talents and thought I would give you a sub. Appreciate that. Mama Flossie, appreciate that. Appreciate that. Well done, Patty. Thank you very much, Morgan. Congrats. Guys, I'll read some of the comments in a few minutes. Let's get to the nitty gritty. So, Carl, the pictures are here. UEFA, we beat UEFA. We went to CAS. We got through that. So now we're back again to these. Oh, City will get banned. City will get relegated. City's trophies will be taken away from them. What are your thoughts about the situation when this hit you? I know you and me have been talking outside, but when this news hit
Mm,
you, how did you
mm.
feel? Whatever moment you were in.
So I woke up in the morning and my wife is always telling me, do not look at your phone first thing in the morning. It's a habit I'm trying to change because it's a bad habit. You shouldn't look at your phone first thing in the morning. What you should do in first thing in the morning is to profess good things will come your way, profess the positive so you can start your day in the right way. But I looked at my phone, I'm like, how do I have so many messages coming to my phone? What's going on? And I saw a headline. And my normal reaction when I get news like that is I always like to wait and I like to get the facts and process the facts and process exactly what's going on. There's a lot of noise around rival fans, the media all jumping up and down, the same way they jumped up and down when we had the UEFA issue. That was even worse, by the way. And it was during the pandemic, so it was all kinds of mayhem and madness. And what I learned from that UEFA case was that just to be patient and get the facts and then study the facts and talk to experts who are in the field of accounting, in the field of law, listen to various opinions, to and fro, and figure out what my own judgment is. And that's why it took me such a long time to do that. One of the things I was able to do very quickly was go on Abdullah's show. Shout out to Abdullah, the Blue Studio, and there are Chelsea fans there. And we had a good discussion, a really insightful discussion. I spent about 20 minutes there talking about what I have learned about this case. But the best pod for this case that I've listened to is by the studio, whatever it is. It's by a guy called Stefan. He's an attorney in England, part of the 1920 podcast. When I listened to that for an hour, that podcast crystallized in my mind everything about what the problem is, what the charges are, why there are 100 charges, and what the potential possibilities could be either which way. And so having said that, the more I thought about them, when I talked to people, is it a problem? Yes, for both City and the Premier League. It's a game of high-stakes poker. Because the City are found to be guilty, then we have to suffer some consequences. I don't think it's going to be relegation or it's going to be title stripped off. There's too much complexity for that. The organization is too big for that. It'll probably be a fine at some points, maybe. But then on the Premier League side, they're found to not be right, and the case is won in court in arbitration. Where's the credibility? How do they stack up? Is this something leading to a bigger problem in the future? So these are all the things happening. Now, someone asked a question about 100 charges, and let me explain what's going on essentially. So it's really not 100 charges. There are 4 major charges, right, on the 4 major areas. 4, not 100. Okay. The reason why it seems to be 100 is because the way it works is they say, the case starts from 2009. They're going all the way back to 2009, right? The accounting and financial for 2009 for 10 years, right? And so when you do your accounts for 2009, you do your accounting, your accounts say, okay, 2009 financials, balance sheet, P&L, supporting documentation, all that kind of stuff. Now, when you want to do your forecast for 2010, the baseline for your 2010 is 2009. Are you following me? So you're basing all your projections on the year before. So 2011 is based on 2010, 2012 is based on 11.
Let me get that right. So the accounts, right? Even if the accounts from because it's 2003, 2002. Because I was asking myself that how, sorry for using this word, but how stupid can one be to continue doing something for years and years until recent? So I was like, okay, would you say it's all accounts every time? Because City,
not necessarily. No, not necessarily. It's saying that, I mean, we run a small business. Whenever you do your financials, you submit your financials for a given year, right? And let's look at these financials are audited by an independent auditor who do forensics and audit all the information. Now, do they get it right wrong sometimes? They do sometimes, but that's their job. Their job as BDO, who's their accounting firm, audit firm, is to look at all the data and trace all the transactions, and they sign off on that and submit to the Premier League. It's not just a spreadsheet that someone submits and says, here's what we do. The accounting firm that's independent comes in and does the forensics to validate that, in fact, this audit opinion is immaterial or is safe, right? That's what it basically means. Now, they do that for 2009. Now, so the 2010 financials is based on the results of 2009. 11 is based on 10, 12 is based on 11, 13 is based on 12, all the way to 18. So now, if you're guilty in 1 year, because your financials are based on that year, everything else accumulates, which is why you have the 100, because they're looking at all the different things. So it's not necessarily that every single year they're 100. No, there are 4 charges. The core charge is charge number 1, which talks about the submission of your accounting statement, your accounts, which they claim are not correct. Right? That's what Premier
Wait. I'm gonna stop you there for a minute. I'm liking what you're saying, Carl, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people are gonna ask you a question. But I want to ask you a question because I'll be asking on behalf of the people. Guys, sorry, I'll be trying my utmost best to read the comments, but the comments are popping. So if you want to have a conversation with us, ask questions is good. I'll get a point where you can ask questions, but I'll read some of the questions. But like the vid, guys, as Carl is explaining this. So you're saying that there's an auditor from outside that comes in and audits their accounts for Man City. It's not somebody from Man City. So auditor belongs to a big organization, right?
Correct.
Surely, so creditable organization.
Let's take the example of Enron. I don't know if how old you were then. So Enron was this big oil company in America years ago, big oil company. They were audited by this very massive accounting firm called Arthur Andersen. They were big, they were huge. And in, I think it was 2003 or 4, there was an issue with Enron where there were fraudulent accounts that were used to do transactions. Arthur Andersen had colluded with Enron to falsify the accounts. Therefore, Arthur Andersen basically got dissolved. They lost all their customers. Enron went bust, right? So an independent auditor's job is to come in. They're paid to come in, look at the accounts, do the forensic analysis, and report on what they find to be true, and they sign off on it, as well as the directors of the company. That's what's submitted to the Premier League, to the HMRC, to external people, investors, all that kind of stuff. That's how it works. Every publicly traded company or even private company should have an auditor that comes in to look at their books. That's what happens. So, part of their job is to make sure everything, right, is looked at and checked. Now, do they make mistakes? Sometimes they do. But to make a mistake for 10 years on the bounce is highly unlikely unless there's collusion from the accounting firm as well, right? Allegedly. So, so that's why you have the 100, because they're looking at year after year after year. The base financials 2009, when you look at 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, all the way to 18, 10 years, all those things accumulate. So that's why it's 100, not like four or five as reported. It's really 4 or 5 charges. One is the accounting, 2 is about Mancini, 3 I think was Yaya Toure. There's one about some licensing issue. So not big issues, but the big issue, the main charge is around, the accounts. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. So basically, because I don't know if I'm just coming in here as a fan. So I read that one of them is about the grass being a certain length, and I found out that that's actually true. So there is some offenses that I just added on the top as we say in my country, a bit of spice. You're adding a bit of spice just to make sure there's extra spice. Well, that's wrong.
All those grass charges and charges for not showing up on time, but all that stuff is all irrelevant. There is just stuff that gets added to it. The core charge here, right, is that main charge number 1, which is that you've given to us, allegedly inconclusive or inaccurate accounts that distort your real position. Now, those accounts are basically reported and audited by an international recognized large company that does this for clients around the whole world. Check out their website. They're around the whole world.
Okay.
Big company who have professionals who do this job. So it's a risk on both sides. It's a risk on City side, but it's also a risk on the Premier League side, because if you cannot prove that the evidence you're providing is indeed correct, then what's your standing? If your standing is going to be based on leaked emails or the work of somebody who is not creditable, how do you reconcile that? It's a very strange, for example, the whole Mancini salary. They said that Mancini had a salary from consulting the club in UAE.
Yeah.
Well, which manager doesn't consult in other businesses? If he consults for the UAE and it consults for Al Sadd or whatever club it is, what business is that for to City or the Premier League? If he does it few hours in it, what business? How do you prove that that's related to the financials or the
it's like, look, at the end of the day, as you say, that if things are not well at City, you say things would not go great. But I just feel like a lot of rival fans or other people are too excited and they're passing judgment before things have been set. Because for me, as a City fan, I have decided to, obviously this will be the last time talking about it, because I've talked about it in many channels. I've decided as a City fan that at the end of the day, the club is the club. Wherever the club goes, we're here. If it goes to championship, if it happens, because some credible journals are saying they see a transfer ban. They see a transfer ban, maybe a point deduction as one of the maximum, and a big huge fee. But I know a lot of rival fans are waiting for City to go down. I know they're waiting for City for something to go bad. But what I'm saying is, we are CFG now. I don't know if people understand what CFG is. It's the City Football Group. There's a lot of teams put in together. And yesterday, thanks to my good friend Pav and Anthony, I found out that it's not only Sheikh Mansour that has got the percentage of the club anymore. It's 81% on him. And there's a percentage by a Chinese company. There's a percentage by an American company. So we actually, go ahead. You explain.
Let me explain. So part of the shareholdings for CFG is Sheikh Mansour is the Chinese company. There's a company called Silver Lake. Okay, Silver Lake are one of the biggest private equity firms, right, in the world. Right, these guys are not kids or trolls on Twitter. Or you hear this, right? These guys are serious guys. These guys are one of the best. Right? better than FSG, better than Clear Lake of Chelsea. These guys are the guys. They're like they manage over $6 billion in assets across
big
the world.
boys.
These are big boys, right? They know what they're doing, right? Now, I guarantee you they'll do their due diligence to ensure that whatever records they receive are indeed valid and correct. These guys do their due. Now, whenever a PE firm goes to do a transaction with an organization, they do their DD. Guy, they don't fool around. This ain't some mom and pop shop. Hey, no. These are the serious guys.
Yeah.
So to expect that Silver Lake, and you can Google them if you want to Google them, they are on the website, are not smart enough or knowledgeable enough to know when things are wrong is almost kidology. They're serious guys.
Yeah. So look, before we move on to a few things, let me just read a few comments, guys. I apologize. There's a lot of you like the video, but there's a lot of you and like the video, but I'm gonna read a few comments. Semisoska C, or I don't know how to say it now. I'll just say Sama. Sama says, "Congrats, thank you very much. I have defended Man City. Actually, I said City don't deserve all the flank of big clubs. All big clubs need to be investigated. Thank you very much, Chris." So there is well, what is it with careful what's that? Erroneous. I don't know how to say that. Scrutiny and my widest imagination. If really they came up with 100 charges and more, I care not how righteous other clubs must be. They should be and must be victims. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, PSG.
So let me explain that. So this is the problem that people don't understand. Again, they think that they're 100 separate charges. They're not 100%, right? I guess
erroneous.
Yeah, I guess
erroneous. Thank you.
Yeah. Right. I just explained that the reason why they're 100 is because of the fact that they're looking at a 10-year span from 2009 to 2018, or 9 years, right? When you base your initial financials in year one and you build projections through year 18, everything's based on year one. And so that carries over. It's not 100 different charges. It's charges related to those years. Are you following me?
Okay. Yeah, I follow you. I follow you.
Yeah. It's not that, oh, you did this, you did that. No. When you look at your financials, if year one is wrong, then everything is wrong. Year 1 through N is wrong because it's based on that projection. That's what's happening. Again, there are only 4 major charges when you look at the whole context of everything that's been a charge, if you would. And the other spurious things like, the grass and all that nonsense. But the major charge is that one, and it's not 100 separate ones. It's based on that year, those 10 years.
Okay, Grant. So, Carl, would you mind reading the club statement as I bring in the rest of the panel?
Yeah, it says the MCFC is surprised by the issuing of these alleged breaches of the Premier League rules, particularly given the extensive engagement and the vast amount of detailed materials that the EPL has been provided with. The club welcomes the review of the matter by an independent commission to impartially consider the comprehensive body of irrefutable evidence that exists in the support of its position. That's what they're saying.
Okay. As much as we look forward to, right? So it says so you see that last one says, as much as we look forward to this matter being put to rest once and for all. So before I go to Hamza, reading that statement, after you read that statement, after the allegations by the Prem were brought in, and then you read this statement, how did you feel? Did you feel a bit of hope, or did you feel that City have got something cooking for the Prem?
No, I felt hope for 2 reasons. Number one, right, these guys have been through this before with the UEFA, right? They've been through this before with UEFA. The same charge. People talk about time bar and etc. Okay, the same charges that were brought then are looked at now again, right? Now, let's say they extend the scope to the time bar. Well, in 2014, City already addressed that with UEFA. They started with UEFA. So are you going to now do double jeopardy and go back again and look at that again? Right? How does double jeopardy work? Now, I understand the Premier League's position is to explore these charges. They have to do it because the complaint came down. They have to look at it. So it's City's now responsibility to respond to these charges by providing the evidence, which they will do. Right? All the top 6 clubs are crying for investigate. Okay, the Premier League says, okay, here's our investigation. Here are our judges. City, you come and prove these charges are right or wrong. And that's what they're going to do. Now, see, they're asking for an independent panel to impartially, right, consider the body of evidence that exists in support of their position. So we shall see.
There's a comment here. PSGs are such losers, by the way. I know they got smacked today of a couple of rules. I don't know what it means. Chelsea need to shut up and pipe down. They need investigating more. Chris is coming after Chelsea. Somebody said on the overlap that Man City feel really calm about the situation. If the Premier League can't prove this, they could genuinely get embarrassed by us.
Patrick, the key thing here is the impartial consideration. If you get an impartial panel to look at the evidence, City will go. If you get a biased panel that is not looking at the evidence in a fair and a just way, then we have a problem. Are you following me? Right?
Because you're right. Because for me, just me as a fan, so I'll bring in Hamza and Kao in a minute. But for me as a fan, I know we are digging. I know it doesn't matter sometimes if you support a certain team, but sometimes you have to have the dignity if you have been put on the panel. But it's very suspicious that you're putting the head of the panel as an Arsenal fan while Arsenal are top of the league. I'm sure that particular person, knowing Arsenal were one of the teams that reported us and was opened by Pep in the press, that Arsenal were one of the teams that reported us. And he said, instead of beating us on the pitch, Arsenal were busy reporting us. You remember that time before we played Arsenal? So you're putting the head of the panel as an Arsenal fan. Yes, as much as people say, no, don't take that, it's not that deep. I just feel like that's just a bit sus. Or am I wrong, Carl? Or am I seeing it just on a lower level?
I would assume that whoever they bring, whether it's an Arsenal fan, United fan, would have the integrity to do the right thing. That's what I would assume. These guys are not small guys who are like, trolls on Twitter who talk nonsense. These are professional lawyers and high-level people who everybody's eyes are going to be on them. So I believe that they will do the right thing and stand by what they believe in, right, wrong, or indifferent, and judge the case for honest merit or demerits. And forget about the trolling and all the rival. I went on the space yesterday. Hamza was on. He asked me to come, and I was trying to explain to these guys, right? They talk about sponsors. I named 50 sponsors that we have, big corporations, word for word. And somebody was talking about, we have one of the sponsors. The guy is a shop that has X-rated material that has 2 people in it. Seriously. So I guess we left it because it was pointless me arguing with these kids. It's just no point. It's a waste of everybody's time, right? I'm fully confident that the club will do the right thing, and the club's point of view will be seen, and fair judgment will be passed in the club's favor. I'm confident of that. I believe that, and I hope so. If they don't, and if it's a fair judgment and we get punished for it, so be it. Then there has to be changes in the club hierarchy, right? There has to be changes, and then we move. But the idea of we're going to be relegated, or that's not. Titles taken away, that's not going to happen.
Okay, so guys, before we go on and bring in Hamza and hear his thought, I know most people are loving this, but guys, 32 likes out of 50 views. There's few of you viewing on Twitter. Now, the frauds on Twitter, enjoy these last moments because I'm watching you guys. Retweet at least. Don't be a fraud. So 58 viewers, please, can we have 50 likes? Come on, guys. We are talking with you. 60 viewers now. It's going up. Should we go for 65, 60 views? Let's go. Let's get those likes up. So let me bring in my man Hamza. Hamza, are you with us?
Yo, man. Big up everyone, man. It's nice to be on the show again. I hope everyone's doing well. To be honest, like with this whole case thing, I'll be honest, right? After I read,
You'll be losing. Hamza, are you there?
Yeah, I think we lost Hamza for a minute. There.
Sorry.
We lost Hamza for a minute.
There?
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah, we're here.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, but you're breaking up once in a while.
Yeah, so Hamza, if you can hear me, just try come out and come back in. We'll get Hamza back, guys. Anyway, guys, let's continue. I'm gonna read a few comments. Ali says, "Remember to praise the Lord as well." Yeah, Ali, as always, man, as always. Now Patrick can buy a BMW. Jokes, man. How are you doing, Candino? Hey, Abdullah. I hope we bankrupt the Premier League. Candino, big up to you. Juliet says, Man City are being relegated. Good one. Hello, bro. How you doing, man? How you doing, guys? Coutinho says he deleted Twitter.
Good for you.
Yeah. So congratulations, Patrick, by Twisted. Thank you very much, Twisted. Hope you're well, Twisted. If we win the Premier League, can't prove it. Can our board take the Premier League to court for damaging our brand?
That's a serious question. That's a good question, Daniel, because I was thinking about it yesterday. If they're found to be innocent of these charges, there has to be some reputational damage consideration. There has to be change at the Premier League.
Okay.
Somebody's head has to roll.
So
Either
what
which way,
happens?
somebody's head has to roll.
What happens? Let's say, for instance, this ends up to look like, okay, these guys from the beginning, it's been a witch hunt. So it was purposely done. They were always after the same club.
Yeah.
And then City win out of all this. How far can City take this?
I mean, there's some serious reputational damage that cannot be undone if this is the case. Because if that's the case, if City win this, then somebody at the Premier League, something has to happen. It just can't go in a business as usual. There has to be reform, or maybe the independent commission that's coming in will step into this and manage, start governing the Premier League. But it just cannot just blow under the carpet and kind of go away. There's too much that's been done. We'll see what happens. And if City lose, then on the City side, there needs to be change at the top. It is what it is.
Well, okay, let's talk about that, because nobody has spoken about that. Because everybody just keeps saying, oh, you get relegated. Oh, I hope they take points off you, take trophies off you. Let's say we lose this and they come out and the Prem says we've won. What would you do as a person at the top? I'm just, by the way, guys, we're just talking as fans. We're not talking on behalf of the club. We're not talking on behalf of all the fan base. This is just opinions from me and Carl. So this is just me and Carl talking. So I'm asking Carl's opinion. What would you do if you were in charge of Man City and you've said, okay, here we are. It looks like we've lost.
That's a difficult one. It's a difficult one to talk. But if there's a fair and independent judgment, if it's fair, and they can prove with clear evidence that these accounts were deliberately, right, not errantly, deliberately, right, caused to be fraudulent, then there has to be change at the top. There just has to be, in my opinion. You can't carry on. How do you carry on? How do you carry on with investors? How do you carry on with your stakeholders? How do you carry on with the fans? There has to be, again, if it's proved without any shadow of doubt that they were fraudulent, which is why, in my opinion, I don't think they're going to be able to prove that. Okay. Again, okay. I'm going back to what it takes to pass an audit by an accounting firm, a global accounting firm. These guys investigate everything. For every transaction, you have to show what they call supporting evidence. For every journal entry, for every deletion, you have to show the evidence. It's not just me sitting here and creating a spreadsheet and sending it to the Premier League. No, there's an accounting process that takes place.
Wait, can I ask you a question before you move on? And I'm pretty sure guys also ask. So you're saying there's auditing done. The audit is done by an outside company. I also know about this because I have seen auditors come to where I work, and it's an independent auditor. Now, this is the thing, right? Once all those audits are done, you say they're sent to the Prem. Don't the Prem themselves also cross-check this? Because you cross-check the stuff that you've been given before letting somebody sign on for another year to play in your league.
Maybe they do.
Am I wrong?
Maybe they do. Maybe they have their own internal finance people who do that. I would assume they do that. I don't know, but I would assume they do that. Yeah, it's weird. It's really, really strange that the organization that has a stakeholder, one of their premium brands. Don't forget, one of their premium brands who's expanded the game beyond measure. Think about the fact that we brought Erling Haaland to the Premier League. The eyes on the league have changed so much now because Haaland has come in. One of your premium brands, you're accusing of these charges. These are serious charges. They're very serious charges. So you have to have, in my opinion, evidence that clearly says, we don't believe you. It's a serious thing. It's not a joke.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking also. That's what I was thinking. I was like, wouldn't even this leave a bit of bad taste to the Prem? Because you know how absolutely. La Liga has been on the backside. The Super League, they won that case against UEFA. So don't you think the Super League owners or the clubs that run the Super League and the La Liga and other leagues are licking their lips saying one of your brand flags, you're going against them, and this might still look at the end of the day, if you are disciplining your child, regardless what it is, people still look at you say, how did it get this far? Let's say, for instance, somebody say, my child has done 100 bad things and now I'm disciplined. They'll be like, how did it get this far? How did you let your child get this far? So Carl, you're right. So let me just read this. They better not remove our club forever. I doubt they'll do that. I don't doubt the stuff. Stephen, I don't understand. Big up, guys. How you doing? How you doing, man? To your football show, guys, go subscribe to the channel. Hi, Patrick and Carl, and all the blues in the chat. Big up to you, Michael, my fellow Irish. They can't do that. The most they can do is relegation and points deduction.
I don't think it gets ready. Patrick, I don't think it's get ready. Relegation.
Let me just figure. You're right about that. Yeah, I am seated till I die. Yeah, me too. Me too. The only punishment you will get is a slap on the wrist, which is a fine and maybe a transfer ban.
You know the funny
never
thing,
walk alone, but do it.
You know, in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, "Wow, it'd be great to go to the championship games next year." You know, seriously, I was actually thinking about.
I wouldn't mind that. I don't know that.
I'm seriously flying down to watch City versus Stoke City in the championship just to enjoy. I mean, seriously, I was thinking about that.
Yeah, that would be good. So people don't realize that football is business. It's not about guilty or not guilty. Our club, our owners have a lot of power and great relationships. I'm confident. Pick up to you, Daniel. Daniel, it's guilty or not guilty when it comes to business. What is fraud then? Big up to you, Newton, man. Big up to you. Big up to you. Juliet, you're 10th. Okay, so look, I don't want to be throwing. I'm here to have a discussion, debate, no rude, mean messages. Big up to you, Juliet. You're all welcome here. All welcome. Hi. We know what you did last season and the one before. Big up to you, the main stand. It's not a coincidence that PL made the statement on the day before the issue of the white papers. These 9 clubs who want to charge us don't want the financial regulator to think about it.
Can I explain that? Can I explain that to everyone?
Can you explain the white paper, please? Because some people I think don't understand. Explain the white paper. Big up to you guys. Keep liking the vid. Keep liking the vid, guys. Welcome to you, Vader.
This is stuff that myself, Vader, Patrick have been talking about and research. That's why it took me 3 days to come out, because I wanted to study all the stuff. So apparently there's been an independent review to determine if the Premier League, football in general, football in general needs an independent regulator. And so there's a lady called Tracy Crouch who led this panel review. It's a fan-led panel review to say, does football need an independent regulator? Now, only one club out of the top 6 said, yes, we need one. Guess which club it was? Man City. Everybody else said no. Even the Premier League do not want to have an independent regulator who looks at things like how much the fans will contribute to the board or to have a say, right? How much money goes to the championship versus the Premier League. All those things are being advised by this independent regulator. So white people are supposed to come out on Monday that addresses the framework of what this independent regulator is going to do. Only one club said we welcome it. All the top 6 said no. The rest said no, we don't want it. So that's what's going on. That's what Daniel is talking about the coincidence that on the day this paper is supposed to come out for discussion, right, which will show that fans can have a say in how their clubs are run, we get this from the Premier League. Right? Now, I'm not saying the Premier League...
Don't you think the regulator will come in, though, regardless? I think the regulator will still come in.
It's inevitable. They will come in. I think the water's down the road too much.
Price Waterhouse is our accountant. I don't like the agenda towards City, to be honest. I'm not even a City fan. I don't think it was a mistake. I believe City have done it with knowledge. Okay, Juliet. This guy is talking facts, but how was it not monitored for such a long time?
Yes. Again, so this question by Newton, right? I mean, again, think about this, right? Every single year, I believe it's March or June, right? A whole bunch of guys in suits and girls in suits come to City. They sit down for 5, 6, 8 weeks, and they go through every single book, every single transaction. They ask for supporting documentation. They ask for evidence. They do all that stuff. And at the end of the day, there are organs at the top. The partners sign off on the account saying, we've looked at everything, and we find this thing to be good and clean. No material breaches. And that's what gets sent to the Premier League and to the regulators and to the HMRC.
Yeah, pause for a minute. Carl. Guys, one more time. 77 of you watching. I have found a way to expose you. But I found a way to expose people live. 77 of you watching and 34 likes. Please, switch off. You know what? I'd rather you switch off and go, because I'm not giving you free content here. Me, Veta, and Carl, I'm not giving you free content. Like the vid. Let's not be frauds. Let's not be frauds. I have found a way to expose you. There it is. There's 78 of you. Like the vid. Come on now. Okay, keep going. Answer the
There
question.
we go. There we go. So yeah. So it's again, I lost my train of thought, Patrick. Lost it. But this is who we are.
I love it. That's classic.
We laugh and we joke, we play. We learned this from the old. We become infected by the old way of the old city, where we just laugh at ourselves. And it is what it is. If you're a City fan, I would say yes, be concerned, but have some faith. Be concerned, but have some faith. Right? I believe that to go through UEFA and get that result in CAS, and you can read the CAS statement, it's very clear, right? With the evidence. I think they're going to apply the same process in this case with the Premier League. I think the Premier League have a right, to ask these questions, these charges that they're saying, and City will provide the evidence to refute them. That's what they need to do. Simple. And then we shall find out how it goes. And so the more I thought about it over the past couple of days, the more I dug into it. I talked to my friends who are experts in accounting and finance and law. I did some research on my own. Someone talked about the fact that, there's no statute of limitations in the Premier League. In the Premier League, well, in England, for contract disputes and fraud, the statute of limitations is 6 years. That's English law. So if you think the Premier League cannot abide by English law, then think again, right? That's English law, 6 years. So I don't know when a journalist says there's no statute time bar or no statute of limitations, English law is very clear. English law is very clear. So if you take a court of law, English law is very clear. It's 6 years. But let's not even go to that one issue. The evidence will be clear enough, in my opinion, to clear City of these charges, and we can move forward. Vader's on, by the way. You're on mute,
Hey guys,
Patrick.
can
You're
you hear
on mute.
me?
Patrick,
Can you guys
you're
hear
on
me?
mute. I hear you, but Patrick's on mute.
Oh, okay.
I can hear you. Let
There you go. Yeah.
me just read some of the comments here. It says, can't stay for long. College tomorrow will be fine. Patrick made some others. You mean to tell me that City's official board deodorant sponsor hasn't paid his 50 million and only on paper? We'll come back to that. Guys, like the vid, and don't be scared about the YouTube count. Some of you are getting scared. Don't be scared. It's just a YouTube count. Some of you are getting... So, Veta, as a fan, after you saw this news, how did you feel as a fan? Because we haven't spoken much, you and I. I saw your masterclass on the HH channel, but as a fan, how did you feel yourself when you sat there and you opened your phone like cow in the morning, and the first thing you saw is Man City charged by the Premier League for alleged breaches of financial rules, 100 of them actually, and they made sure that the 100 is big. Did you see that?
They knew exactly what they were doing with that 100, because obviously they know, us being the Centurions, it's not ironic to have these 100 alleged breaches. But I think my experience was very similar to Carl. It went from being frustrated from what we saw in Sunday's play to waking up. And for me on Mondays, I'm up around like 5:36 because I like to get my fitness in before the day. And the first thing I see on the phone, because obviously you guys over across the pond are 5 hours ahead, and I'm like, what? So I took a second to kind of consume some of it, and then I had to take a step back, which I often do. When I'm presented with information, I'll take it in, and then I'll kind of assess it and look at it. And I thought, this is a really, really, what we say over here in North America, a Hail Mary. It's a Hail Mary attempt to try and deal with one thing when dealing with another. Because I was listening to the show, and fantastic show, by the way. All of you, I'm not going to call you frauds, but all of you in the chat, in the show right now, hit that like button. You enjoy what Carl and Patrick bring, and that's why you're here. So hit that like. But it's doing one thing to get the other, and to delay, to show that, FA, we can run our own, we can police our own, we can handle things. And then how you present evidence to show that you can handle things is releasing 100+ breaches that date back to 2009. How is that showing that you can police your own? How is that showing that you actually have the teeth to do what you're claiming to do? waiting these many years to then spitball everything at once is not showing strength. And then it just leads me, because again, I'm looking at things holistically. If you're gathering reports, if you're gathering evidence, if you've seen infractions, if you've seen irregularities, you're trying to tell me there's only one club that does this? You're trying to tell me that you know what I mean? You're trying to tell me that there's only one club that you're going to put under scrutiny for doing these things? Come on, man. I know, I get it. City's never been liked. City's always been the noisy neighbors from everyone. I get that. They never wanted us to sit at the table. But this attempt is so flawed in my eyes. And I love I know I'm getting a little long-winded here, but I love the message. I love the statement that came out from the club. Wherever things net out, wherever things lie at the end of it, I love the statement in itself, because it's like, we're going to deal with this head on and deal with it once and for all. So just FA, just be ready, because I don't believe that you had all your ducks in a row when you fired your shot, when you took your attempt. And it's going to be long. It's also not going to handle publicly. All these leaks, all these content creators, and all these so-called specialists and experts that claim to know what they know, they don't know anything. This is going to be happening behind closed doors, and it's going to get resolved this way. I jokingly said when I first saw it that this stinks of a shakedown. This stinks of a, hey, I'm coming into your new restaurant, your new business, and I'm seeing some irregularities. I can make this go away for you. That's the stench that I had when I first woke up to it. But as you can see, I'm still passionate about it. I'm still eager to see how this kind of plays out, but it's not going to be done in the public eye.
Yeah, true. So as Vetas just spit some facts again, guys, 92 of you, we're getting there, 38 likes. Just get us to 50. Okay, I've just given up on you. Just get us to 50. Get us to 50. That's fine. But there's 92 of you. I appreciate the people who are watching, guys. We'll keep going. I'm going to look for questions in the comments. If people want to start firing questions, we'll ask a few questions. Just make sure you're respectful, guys. But I appreciate it. 94 of you. It's going up. Like the vid, guys. Like the vid. Let me bring in my man Kevin. Kevin, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here. You guys okay?
Yeah. My brother on the you my brother on the ground, that we may say. How are you feeling so far as a City fan? Because I know there's ways that everybody, as Veta says, they want to bring us to their channels. We've been to many channels, and we've been on Twitter. People want to become lawyers overnight. But I want to hear from City fans, like a City fan yourself. When you sat down, you saw this. How are you feeling yourself?
Yeah,
as a
for
City
me,
fan?
when I saw it, I said, "Here we go again," because I knew what was going to happen. I think the reason why they are doing this is just they're looking for a scapegoat, and a City is there for them. Because if you see the accusation, most of them, the majority of the accusation is from the one that, what's it called? The one that the UEFA, the one that they did, the Champions League one that they did. Yeah, they brought that over. So I think the reason why they are doing this is because of the law that they were going to pass, the white paper and all that was going to pass. So they are trying to prove that, oh, we can solve our own problem by ourselves. But all the rivals fans are just saying, everyone is a lawyer now. Everybody is a lawyer. They all know what's going to happen. City is going to get relegated to the, what's it called, is League 2 and all that. Everywhere you go, people just say different type of stuff. I don't know why people are so jealous of City. They're so jealous of us. We don't. And the funniest thing, our fans, we are not even rude. Our fans are the most, as in, we are very nice to other. We don't laugh the way we don't act big the way United, Liverpool. When we play football, we just want to enjoy ourselves. We just want to watch our game, enjoy ourselves.
Yeah.
Even when we win, we're quiet, and
Yeah.
when we mock people we do it responsibly.
Yeah.
For other people, before, like, look at Man United. they're saying, yeah, you guys dope, you dope, you dope. Do you guys remember Fergie time? Was that normal? Fergie time wasn't normal. So United was winning everything because no one had money to challenge them. That was why they were winning everything. Now City come now. Now Newcastle are coming. So all these big buyers are coming. So they're scared because they want to keep getting richer because they don't want anybody to take their throne. That's the reason why. And I don't want to be like this thing is like in a way is like politics. Because the reason why they always go after us, you guys know, I don't want to say it, but you guys know why they always go after say it.
I know, and you know the thing is, this is to all the people listening. I said this at the beginning. I will let Kevin finish. I said this at the beginning, guys. Nobody on this panel is an expert. Nobody on this panel is a lawyer. We just want to clear that out. We don't know more than anybody who's watching. We don't know more than other YouTube channels or YouTubers. We don't know more than people who are watching right now or rival fans. All we are talking about is from City fans ourselves and what we've seen. Carl spoke about what he studied for the past 3 days. I myself, I don't want to pretend to be an expert in this. I don't want to say, oh, at the end of the day, this is the punishment they're going to give us. I'm sorry. I don't want to say, oh, we're going to get scot-free from this. I repeated this at the beginning, so I want people to be clear with this because I know people get too emotional. They get too emotional when watching YouTube videos. They get too emotional and start presuming things. Because I've had fights with people on Twitter for no apparent reason because they're like, oh, so you think you know more than all of us? No. I'm not saying I know more than anybody, nor does anybody on this panel know more than anybody. We don't know the inside and out of this stuff. We're just talking from the outside as fans when we sit down discussing. And also we say this disclaimer at the beginning, we are not representing all City fans. We're not. We're just representing ourselves as the City fans, ourselves here on this panel. It's our opinion. So please, guys, make sure that you understand this. Go ahead, Vetter.
So one thing I want to say, and sorry, was it Kevin that just joined the show? Kevin brought up a good point, and this is what I want to just piggyback on. And it's however this plays out, right? Let's look on the positive side, and from the alleged breaches with regards to us affecting fair competition, we're absolved of that, right? What I don't want to hear, what I won't accept, and I'll continue to do this until I'm blue in the face. I don't want to hear rivals say we got off because of money. I'm not going to accept that. I'm not going to accept that dismissal of you weren't in the wrong because you got off because of money. No. So however this plays out and the outcome, I'm not going to accept that from rivals. And another point that Kevin brought up with regards to us as a fan base, I find it so ironic that we're hated and we're supposedly a small club. We don't have many fans, but all of them seem to talk to us. We're not a big fan base, but we seem to be talked about often. And another thing is the hatred that happens to come towards us is mainly from those clubs that are the established ones, the established Reds that were living like hogs because the competition wasn't coming from many; it was coming from a few. And they have the beauty of the legacy of being successful when the injection of the TV deals and the Premier League was just popping. So they think that because they had the right, because of a Big Bang Theory, the right timing of things, that should continue for the remainder of this league. It's ridiculous. And us as City fans, we get this hatred when we don't even impose the same thing onto them. We're not arrogant. We're not telling them that they're useless clubs or they haven't won enough or they can't sit at any tables. It's crazy.
Hey, Martin, your background is there's a lot of noise in the background. I don't know what's going on. Is that Martin?
It might be, guys. I'm gonna continue to listen. I'm just picking up my daughter.
Yeah. I think again, as I mentioned, to those who just joined us, I gave a complete explanation of why these 100 charges are not really 100. They're actually 4 or 5 major charges. Charge 1 is the one that is the major concern, and the reason why it's 100 is because when you do financial accounting, right? When you look at 10 years, you go back to year one, or what I call ground zero, which is 2009. And you do projections based on ground zero, or 2009, you build all the projections to 2018. So if year one was wrong, then year 2018 is wrong. That's how it becomes 118 or 100 charges. That's why. It's not the fact that every single instance there was a charge. No, because if the baseline is wrong, then the projections are wrong. That's the way it works. It's math. It's simple math and economics and accounting. That's how it works. But there are just four main charges. One is around the accounting. The other is around Mancini. There's one around some licensing issue. There's one around some players. I think under 16 players that everybody does. And those are the main issues. And those are the main issues. Everybody does the under 16 stuff. Everybody does it. So again,
let's welcome. Let's welcome Martin. Martin, how you doing?
Yeah, not bad, mate. I'm just listening to all the lawyers and the solicitors that are in the comments.
I know, and some people were trying to bring the whole thing that, do you guys know more than us or something? I was like, nah, we already made a disclaimer. Go ahead.
Well, Patrick, let me before you give a disclaimer, let me explain, right? If you haven't studied the case or studied the CAS case, and you haven't studied the facts, I recommend that you do so, but you won't because you're trolling. So what's the point, right? But go and do that. Because when it came out, I talked to Patrick. I'm like, I'm going to take my time. Martin, I called you, Martin, right? We had a good discussion about this for like 15 minutes. I said I was going to take my time to study this whole deal. Take my time to really get into it and study it and look at both sides of the aisle and figure out what's going on. And the more I study it, the more I'm saying, nah, PL, you're taking a massive risk here, bro, because if one charge doesn't stick, you are in big trouble.
I think I said it to Bater earlier. This won't even get anywhere near where people think it's going to go to. For a start off, they're not going to relegate us because it isn't a case of relegating down to the Championship. They'd have to relegate us down to League Two. So let's just take relegation straight out the chute. Ain't happening. Because they're not going to relegate us down to League Two. It's not just a champion. It's not a relegation. It's an expulsion if they do it. Two totally different things. So no, they won't even do that. There is going to be no stripping of titles because this is not a criminal case. Everyone keeps on about money laundering, fraud. No, the police would have been all over the Etihad at 8 a.m. Monday morning. They weren't. It is not a criminal case. What this is a simple case of the Premier League are going, according to our rule books, you've not adhered to our rules. 35 of these 115 charges, 35 of them are non-compliance. Yeah, and that is basically City saying, we don't trust your process. This is a setup. We're not going down that road. Very much like they did with UEFA. And City have actually given the Premier League some things of what they want. City's whole argument is, we can't give you what you want because what you're asking for, we have not done. We cannot give you something that is not there. You want us to say we have basically fixed all the books and changed everything. And what the Premier League is saying, Kyle is spot on. What the Premier League are doing at the minute is a massive game of poker. They have got no concrete evidence, so they have thrown 115 charges, which are made up of 4 or 5 main points. A lot of it is just garbage. A lot of it is just throw mud at a wall, hope something sticks. It's like we've got nothing concrete, so we'll throw everything at them. Point number 2, these emails. These emails were laughed out of CAS. People brought these emails into CAS. CAS just laughed them right out the door and went, yeah, we're not even entertaining that game. That's a load of garbage. So, the simple fact of all this is a very political situation that we're all in. And Manchester City is being used in a political pawn game right now. Because the white paper was all due out because the Premier League are trying to say, we can govern our own league. We don't need the British government to come in and govern us. We don't need that. So, yeah. The UAE and the UK government have very, very, very good relations. There have been deals done very recently of £100 million, all done through a company run by Khaldoon Mubarak. He's the chairman. So the simple fact is, this will never, if this goes to court, and I'm saying the word if, we are talking 4 years. 3-4 years. We are not talking this is done tomorrow. We are talking a very drawn out legal process. This is going to be all, trust me now, in 12 to 18 months, this will be over. There'll probably be a bit of a fine. We will get a fine for non-compliance because we have probably broken that. Like we did with UEFA, it'll be a fine for non-compliance because basically they were asking us for something we can't provide because we haven't done it. So people need to, anyone who thinks they're getting giddy on titles and Steven Gerrard getting a medal and City going down to League Two, you need to come off cloud cuckoo land.
Well, Martin, I want to,
because it ain't happening.
I want to pick it back on your point there, Martin. And the reason why people are thinking that way is because unfortunately, they don't understand how business works. It's unfortunate. And maybe it's because they're young. Maybe it's me just, because they're young. Because if you know how organizations work, multi-billion-dollar organizations work, that have tentacles around the whole world, that have external investors who invest in the UK from that part of the world, it doesn't work that way, mate. It just doesn't work that way.
So there's a question here, Carl. It says, can anyone of you break down where your revenue comes from when you can barely fill a stadium?
Let me answer that question for him. So, Wantali, I know you're trolling, but if you want to have a serious conversation, if you want to learn, go look at the Deloitte report that just came out last week. It breaks down commercial, match day, and breaks down commercial, match day, and what's the third one again? Sponsorship revenue. Commercial, match day, and there's one other one again, a TV, right? The reason why our revenues are higher than United during the COVID was because United had more fans in the stadium. They had less match day revenue because they couldn't fill it, because nobody was going. The reason why our commercial revenue was higher is because we won trophies. We were first, and we got the final of the UCL. That's how it works. TV revenue, that's how it works.
Yeah, and I just want to piggyback on that, by the way.
And then based on that, also, Martin, we've increased our commercial sponsors by over 40% in the past 3 years. Companies like Sony, Nestle, right? Cisco, right? Xylem, Nexem Tire. All these guys, our global brands, are investing and sponsoring the club because of the success.
Silver Lake.
Now, Now, if you don't understand how that works, I can't help you, brother. I'm sorry, I just can't help you.
And someone said about the stadium. Manchester City have one of the highest season ticket uptakes capacity-wise in the whole of the league. We have more season ticket holders than United and Liverpool.
But Martin, let's even discount.
So,
right? And think about it, right?
No, because they're talking about because the actual question was down to. I keep hearing about this stadium stuff.
Well,
people need to realize it.
Martin, right? Match day revenue is immaterial compared to the other revenue streams. It's like TV money and commercials. It's immaterial. Think about this, right? The Premier League clubs survived in COVID. Why? Because they got TV money. That's why. There were no fans in the stadiums. Now, the Championship clubs suffered because they didn't have much TV money and they had no fans. They suffered. Many went bankrupt, almost bankrupt, or in debt. The Premier League clubs got a lot of money because we were watching the games on TV. That's why you have NBC giving 2.5 times the TV revenue each season that they did before. That goes to the clubs.
No, the only reason I mentioned about it is because people don't quite understand how season ticket works. United only have, I think it's 30,000 season ticket holders. The rest is all made up of match day tickets. City have the highest intake of season tickets. They sell out season tickets. Yes, there may be waiting lists at United and Liverpool because there is less of them to sell. Manchester City, I've got, I think it's 39,000 season ticket holders, which is one of the highest. Every single one of them is sold out.
There's a question for you, Martin, because before I go to Kelvin, it says, what makes you certain you cannot be relegated, points deducted? It happened to Rangers. Why can it not happen to you? Because I think you mentioned at the beginning.
Different cases. Did totally different cases. It's like everyone's bringing up the Juventus case. That was a criminal matter. This is not criminal.
Yep.
See, so I mean, I beg people actually understand what they're talking about. I'm not trying to be ignorant. I'm not trying to be rude. What I'm trying to say is, people are just sticking 2 and 2, and they're coming up with 72 because they're looking at the Rangers, they're looking at Juventus, and they're all different cases.
Yep.
Totally different old cases with different repercussions to them. And this is what people need to realise. This is why league titles are not going disappearing, because of the simple fact is of this, Juventus lost titles because of a criminal matter, not because this is not criminal. This is not money laundering. This is not fraud.
Juventus were fixing matches, wasn't they? Juventus were fixing matches and bribing refs.
Totally the case.
Exactly. They were bribing referees, or bribing players, bribing all those things. That's why this is not a criminal case. This is.
I think this one is for. Oh, this one I think is for Kelvin. He says, "What does he mean? Was Fergie time normal?" That's for you, Kevin.
Yeah, but what I mean by Fergie time is, if you guys watched United a long time ago, they need to. If they are going to add like 2 minutes, they'll add like 7 minutes. That only happened to Man United. Go and watch the game again. It's only United game that's why they always say Fergie time. So you think United fans think their cupboard is just clean? Come on, everyone cheats. Everybody cheats. Even in life, as we are all talking about, in one way or another, we all cheat. So what you guys say? I'm not saying City is perfect or.
So I think
what this is, they are just jealous. These guys are jealous. We make this league. We make this league look like a joke to them. We make it look like a joke. They can't beat us by playing football. They're finding another way. All what they're doing now is just make people hate us. You know when you throw something out.
I mean, we don't. I don't. I think we just. And Kelvin has a point there. You know, there's an old saying. I think my grandma used to say that in a village, when the strong wind blows, all the chickens in the compound, their ass shows. Right? All the chickens. So if you think it's only one chicken that the bomb is going to show, all the chickens' bombs show. So be careful what you ask for the wind.
But people, everyone, I think, Patrick, there are a lot of people you don't need to argue with because some are so dumb. Forgive me if I use this word. People don't even read. All they see, City has been charged. They have break the rules. For them, City is guilty. City is cheating. They don't even go deep. It's like people are just talking to me as if we have been proven guilty already. I don't understand you guys.
I think that's the issue. That's the issue, though. Kevin, you're right. Even this is those useless big six Bs can't wait to see City go down by already asking the Premier League to strip our titles, be relegated immediately. Do you know when I've seen that we're hated, Carl, McKinnon Way, and Martin? I saw we're hated if official players, football players from teams, legends are tweeting, "Oh, when are you going to relegate them?" I was like, my God, this is next level hate. I've never seen next level hate.
Do you know what makes me laugh? There's a guy in the comments, and I shouldn't entertain, but I will do. Guy just gone, well, Liverpool, I've just checked, have 27,000 season ticket holders. I'm 16,000 on the list. Yes, you are what they call in dead man's shoes. Liverpool are not going to release any more season tickets. It's 27,000. You have to wait in that line until someone goes. Manchester City have 39,000 season ticket holders, all sold out with a waiting list. I've had a season ticket over 30 years. City are not people. This is what I mean. I beg. It's not 27. Add 16,000 on, because there isn't 40,000 season tickets at Liverpool. There is only 27. You are in dead man's shoes. You are waiting forever to get one. So I beg people realise what we're talking about. Listen, if City get charged, if we get found guilty of anything, then fine, punish us. I'm not saying don't punish us. I'm not saying we should get away with anything. What I'm saying is, don't say we're guilty before we've even had any hearings. We've been charged. We've not been made guilty of anything at the moment.
Yes.
But we can only go off. We've been down this road with CAS and UEFA.
Yeah.
And UEFA played this exact same game and they lost. In fact, they didn't just lose, as Carl will tell you. Cass laughed them out the building. They laughed them out the building because UEFA went there with no evidence. They had no evidence. They couldn't. It was like a clown court. They didn't have a clue what they were doing in there.
They had evidence, but most of the evidence was acts. They took it illegally. That's why they just laughed them off.
Yeah,
For me,
go ahead, Kevin. Finish.
You know, like today, everyone is. I'm in a group chat, my family group chat. Everyone keeps saying like, "Oh, every morning you get a test like some meme about CA and all that." So this is everyone keeps saying we are little city. No one cares about City. I don't care if City win. I don't care if City do that. Look at what's going on now. Every day, everyone talk about us. You never seen a club in Europe, all over the world. If you mention a club like they are talking about, let's say they are talking about Juventus or the podcast. If you watch other people podcasts like other country, they must mention City. That's why I'm telling United fans that you guys are irrelevant now. City have taken over. That's why everybody is coming at us. We've taken over. They use us as an example. Look at how well they are run.
I think if we stick to the facts of what we I think you're right that there is a certain level of jealousy and concern about the title
and a bit of hate.
And a bit of
hate. There's a bit of
hate. Yes, there is no clear, and we know where that's coming from. Right? I mean, for example, today, we hear allegedly that Qatar wants to buy a certain club down the road from City.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, all the noise about oil money and Arab money and quote unquote dirty money has now become, oh wow, this is amazing.
Yes.
Significant. You know, I've seen many YouTube channels about some Liverpool fans, some of Patrick's friends, who want Qatari money in Liverpool. And they were excited about it. All of a sudden, this Arab money, this so-called quote unquote dirty money, right?
Yeah, that's what makes me laugh, Doga. Right? You're right.
Is now okay. So let's be clear. The hypocrisy across the fan base is clear. If you can't see it, you should be ashamed of yourself because it's clear. It's clear. What makes Arab money different from American money? Because it comes from the Middle East.
The one thing I like about City is we are not toxic. The fans over here, we don't panic. None of us, no one is panicking. Like I was like, wow, we're all so calm because we know what City are capable of. So we don't even most of if it's other people they'll be insulting their owners already, going crazy, burning their T-shirt and all that. Nah, City fans, we don't do that. We don't do that because majority of us we know why they are doing this, why they are attacking us. We know. We are the big boys now, Patrick. We are the big boys. If you are the big boys, people want to bring you down. Everybody want to bring you down. So I just think, yeah.
Go ahead. Finish. Okay, there's a comment here. It says football governance campaign group has devised a new ranking based on club financial health, and some of the results are alarming. I haven't heard of that, so I'm not gonna really say on that. Have any of you guys heard of that?
No, I haven't heard that.
You haven't heard that. The guy with the Haaland picture. I am speaking facts. I'm not being mean and not trolling. I'm so calm. Julia keeps asking that. She says that at Liverpool there is a queue for season tickets. So she says that's why she's surprised that how can we have more season tickets than them because where's our queue?
I don't know why everyone is always surprised. Do you people know
because we have more available? That's what it is. We have more available.
Do people understand right now at this moment? Every kid, every youth want to support City. Do people know this right now?
Well, let's just
in 5, 10 years, people don't understand.
Yeah, that's the thing. People like I was listening to a few people saying, "You guys, nobody really buys your jerseys." I was laughing because I was like, if you go to the shops these days, when I came to Ireland 10 years ago, Carl Martin and
Patrick, let me give you an example. Let me give you one example.
Ahead.
So everybody's clear, right? Yeah. Let me give you one example, okay? And for those who are listening, hear me out, okay? Go on Google SoFive.com, SOFIVE.com. right? Google it, put it in your YouTube, you can Google it. What you see, SoFi.com is that there are basically football centers across the US, probably 15 or 20 of them across the US, all across the states, where kids that U6, U8, U10, U12, right, go and get coached for soccer. Now, SoFi is owned by Man City. Owned. So every single day, right, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, there are kids and parents who are paying $600 for 8 weeks of coaching, right, for kids, each kid. Now, I happen to be one of those coaches who does that. And in my session, I handle probably 70 kids every day, every Tuesday. Multiply that by 600 or so. By how many sessions? So does Liverpool have that? No. You know what? Liverpool have their own academy here. They rent from Man City the spaces. Are you following me? So to think that this is all just, oh, no. We're still using 1980 thinking about how clubs are run in a digital age for a club that has 12, 15 partner clubs across the whole world. We're still using analog in the digital age. You're still using your brain back in the day of 1980, 1970, or Sir Alex Ferguson, to where these guys are heading. Seriously. Check it out, SoFi.com.
Yeah, let me read this. Everyone gets.
You try and rent it. Pretend to rent a field at a session there. See if you get the space. Right now, you won't.
Yeah, let me read this from Juliet. She says everyone gets hate. We got hate for winning the Premier League during COVID. So let's get it straight. Everyone gets hate when you do well. That's a good point. Everybody gets hate. Look, guys, I'm going to close this in a few minutes. I'm gonna say something and I'll pass to the rest of the guys. Guys, thank you very much for being with us. Even the guys from United, even the guys from Liverpool. As I said, the True City fan, everybody's welcome. Everybody's opinion matters. I just always ask people to be respectful in the comments, because if you're not respectful, it's not fun doing all this. Especially people mustn't be like insulting others. At the end of the day, I said at the beginning, this is just us talking as City fans. We're not representing all City fans. Nor are we lawyers. Nor do we know more than other people. We're just talking from the side we've seen. And people here on this panel, I respect them a lot. And I respect what they're saying. I respect their opinion. That's the reason why I invited them here. But I'm going to say this to City fans. This is just from me. I have decided to just focus on the football, Martin and Carl and Kevin. I'll focus on the football. And this is the last time you hear me speak about this.
Yep.
And this is the last time every channel, if other channels are watching this, I already said it to other channels who invited me. I said I'm not going to be on any channel answering anything about this. I will just wait as a City fan. I want to enjoy my life. Some people don't understand. Let me just be honest with you. City is attached to some fans. A lot of us, it's an attachment. It's part of our lives. Me and Carl, most of our phone calls about City. Me and Martin, most of our conversations are about City. Martin is born and bred from City. Kevin is there at Manchester. That's where he is born and bred there. So it's the thing is, people don't understand that we are fans. If something's happening in the club, it's up to the club. It will be sorted out with the club. But this is some of us, part of our livelihood. We love this club. So some of you guys, if you think you can come and troll, go ahead, troll. I know it's part of the game. I understand the game. I accept the game. But for me, even I was asked live, I want to say, where they said, oh, if City goes down, are you going to leave? I looked at the person and said, I'm in my 30s. I'm sorry, regardless whatever happens, this is where I'm going. Even if we go to the championship, whatever, if we end up being non-existent, I'm just gonna sit down and watch football for the sake of watching football. I will never wear another jersey apart from the City jersey. So for me, I've just decided to focus on football, Martin. I don't know how you're feeling, Martin, yourself. I've decided to focus on football. Going forward, even right now, starting from tomorrow, this is my closing statement. It's just going to be football, and we're going to do the previews as we always do, talk about football when I talk with you. What about yourself? What's your last statement on all this?
Got to enjoy it, and, we carry on in the season. If people are pissed off with us now, excuse me, wait till the summertime, because they're going to be really peeved off with us come the summertime. Because trust me now, if you think Manchester City is standing still, oh boy, you've no idea what's coming. absolutely no idea what's coming in the summertime. And they'll find out and they'll see, you know, at the end of the day, you know, I'm very relaxed on it all. And it's why I don't get into all this rubbish, because we've won 4 out of 5 league titles. God knows how much revenue that brings in.
A lot.
We won FA Cups, Carabao Cups. You know, got to the final, got one kick away from the another final. Did you think we get paid peanuts for doing that? We get paid hundreds of millions for doing that. And listen, let the football do the talking. Bring it on. Because I'll tell you what, this is going to galvanise us more than anything right now. If you think City fans weren't galvanised before, you're going to see something you've never seen before. And I'll tell you what, I just can't wait. I can't wait for the rest of the season. And I can't wait till the summer. Because there's going to be a lot of peeved up people.
I can't wait. What about yourself, Kevin? What are your last words on all this? Because as I said, for me, as soon as I'm done with this video, I told Carl, no more posting about this. I want to retweet about this. No, why post in the groups about this? This is me done. It's just focus on football. The same way I did with the UEFA, focus on football and just enjoy my life and continue normally.
For me, I'm already thinking about Sunday. How we're gonna be Aston Villa. That's me. I think most of us, yeah, we relax. I'm relaxed because I think City fans should be relaxed. If you believe the club, just relax yourself. I believe City. So I think the fans are there. You don't need to worry. If people are trying to, wind you up, just laugh it off. Because I have when like United come at me, Liverpool, Arsenal, they all come at me. I retaliate straight away. I'll just tell them they're jealous. So all this is just because they're jealous of us. So I don't know. But anyway, I'm enjoying myself because I know that United drew today. So that I'll sleep well tonight.
They did. They almost lost. Big up to Leeds. Big up to
Leeds. I'm having a feeling that on Saturday, Brentford are going to do something. Trust me. Brentford.
Yeah, me too. I have that feeling.
Could be worse, Patrick. We could be 9th or 10th.
Yeah.
you had to throw that. What about yourself, Carl, man? Before we close, any last
words?
No,
I think you said it all, Patrick. I think for me, I come to the conclusion, I'm just going to trust my club. I've looked at everything. I've studied it. In my opinion, I think we'll be fine. We make, to Martin's point, we may get a fine for non-compliance, maybe a settlement in that regard. But I believe the core charge is so incredibly hard for the PL to prove that the ramifications of that core charge are beyond City. We're talking about all the accounting firm. We're talking about the accounting firm. It's major. So I think there will be some agreement along the way to figure out how both parties come to a resolution on this. Because let's get it right. Right now, the biggest brand for the Premier League right now, globally, right now, is Man City because they're winners. Year after year after year. In the modern Premier League era, it's this club. And so for me, it's, how do you treat your most successful stakeholder at this moment in the modern times? I know United won it 13 times. We're talking about the past 10 years. City have won it more than anybody else.
Anybody.
And so you got to figure out a way to manage this. Again, the Premier League has a right to ask the questions, or what I call the charges, right? And City have the right to respond to those charges, and then they come to a resolution, which I think is going to end up happening. So I want to focus on the football. I watched the FA Cup Youth League yesterday, and I enjoyed it, Patrick. Watching Katongo, watching all those kids play against, I think it was some championship side. It was beautiful to watch. That's what I want to watch. That's what gives me joy. Not just talk about FFP and finance.
To be honest with you, as fans, I'm gonna say this. Whether other fans from others who are watching from other clubs, it's up to you. As fans, I think sometimes we take things for granted. Like I spoke to a Chelsea fan. He's one of my closest friends. He said, Patrick, this is the reason why when bad things are happening to other clubs, I never speak, nor do I comment. He says, because you never know what's around the corner for your club. He says, this is the reason why I'm very patient. I never comment, nor do I fight people when people are laughing. I just sit there and watch them because everything is around the corner. You never know what can come. So most fans, all I can tell you is you never know what can come out of your club one day. You never know what can happen. So sometimes when we're laughing, yes, we laugh, we dig. That's the reason why I'm taking words from him that going forward, it's best sometimes for you to just look. But anyway, I would like to get Mancunian Way to shout out his channel.
Yeah, Mancunian Way, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere. And we're going to be back tomorrow with an Aston Villa preview. And yeah, just enjoy the football because there's no point in sitting on this for the next 4 years.
Yeah, our Pitch Points also, guys, go subscribe to Pitch Points. This is Carl's channel. Carl, you want to tell the guys Pitch Points what you do at Pitch Points?
Yeah, we talk about football when I can, when I'm not too busy. Details coming up. We're going to be exploring other teams. We talk about, for example, the team Dortmund versus Chelsea that's coming up. We'll talk about them. We'll talk about Madrid and Liverpool. We'll go into some in-depth analysis of what we think is going to happen in those games. So it's more about European football and then other things as well outside of that. And that's what it's about. But you can find Patrick there as well. You can find Martin.
It's sister channels or brother channels.
Yeah.
So that's sort of like the CFG group, to be honest with you. We're sort of like a CFG group. Kevin, you can find him on Twitter. Kevin, do you want people to follow you or you don't care?
No, I don't care. I'm all right.
Grand, yeah. So, guys, I would like to thank you again. Guys, for the 200 subs. Especially thank you, Doug. I was on your live show, and it was on 2091. And during the live show, Doug did a promo, and everything went to 2K. I thought I'd get to 2K by June, but thank you very much, guys. And thank you very much, guys, who are watching the Cancelo German fans. Big up to you. That Cancelo video has gone to 5K. Now it's 5.5K. I don't know what's special about Cancelo, Martin, Cow, and Kevin. Cancelo's video has gone to 5K. I don't understand what's good about
Cancelo. Will be coming back this summer.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I think they like him in Germany. I don't know. They go to, Bayern fans. I've got comments from Bayern fans. I'm answering every day. So, but thank you very much, guys. I appreciate all your support. All the regionals, Big Morgan, Ali, Daniel, Adam, who was one of my first subscribers and now is one of my closest friends. Everybody, guys. Everyone I've forgotten. If I've forgotten you, big up to you, everybody, guys in the chat. Michael Finney, big up to you, man. He says, I was down, but you lads have really cheered me up. Brilliant stream, Patrick, Carl, Veta, and Martin. All the best from a Dublin Blue. So, guys, big up to you guys. Big up to all of you guys. Respect to you guys all. Even if you're Liverpool fans, Man United fans, respect to you. Liverpool fans, I know right now things are not working out, but big up to you. You'll be back. Hopefully things are back for you. United, big up to you. Everybody's eating. And you know what, Carl? I'm going to be honest with you, Carl, Martin, and Kevin. I would like everybody to have a good summer. You know why, Carl? I want everyone to go toe-to-toe next season. I don't want excuses. I want everyone, Martin, to come back and go toe-to-toe. Chelsea, Liverpool, Man United, Arsenal, to come back together. All 4 or 5 Spurs, if we add them. We don't care about Spurs. I want all 5 clubs or 6 or 7 to come back with a good window, good managers, good structure. And I want, Martin, a bloody war. I want toe-to-toe. As a football fan, I want all of them to go toe-to-toe. That's just my feeling. So anyway, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Special thanks to Martin. Also, Martin, for the support you've shown me. Carl, Kevin, special thanks to Vector. Everybody, the whole team.
Congratulations on the 2K, mate.
No, thank you very much, man. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I hope you get there soon too. So we are all moving together as a family. So, guys, before I close, does anybody have anything to say? Because we're about to close.
No, I'll see. When are we doing when are you doing the preview for the Aston Villa game?
Possibly, I don't know. Martin, when are you doing yours?
Doing ours tomorrow night. I'm actually now at 1,000. I can go live from the ground at weekend.
Oh, you promised us.
I can actually go live from the Etihad.
You promised that. You promised that.
So that'll be fun.
I'll hold you accountable. Anyway, guys, thank you very much. That's all from us. We'll see you next time for the Aston Villa preview. I'm going to post the link. Hopefully, most of the panel will be back so we can have a full panel. If I have time, I'll jump on Martin's to cause a bit of trouble and say hi to Sal. And anyway, thank you very much, guys.
All right.